Every time a man lets a woman down, she becomes more masculine. If you want women to be more feminine, stop letting women down.
In the last 6 to 7 years, I've seen the rise of, I would say, a lot of self-help coaches, both men and women, in what we call the dating sector of social media. So let's say for men, there are people like Coach Corey Wayne. There are people like Steve the Dean Williams, people like Alpha Male Strategies. These are dating coaches for men in what we call the manosphere space. However, the manosphere is a very niche community, right? And a lot of people who are actually getting advice in the real world, or a lot of blue pill guys, are getting advice from just their favorite TV show, or their favorite radio show, or their favorite TikTok channel, like the clip I played initially. And I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to get to a certain situation that some of you guys messaged me about. And that has to do with Angela Yee. Now, Angela Yee is a big part of the Breakfast Club. She'll be leaving pretty soon. But there was a particular clip in which Angela Yee was talking to a man who was married to his wife for 21 years, and his wife took $17,000 out of their joint account without discussing it to lend to her brother. Now, I want you guys to just think about the whole situation if it was, different. Let's say, for example, it's a man that takes $17,000 out of his account to lend to his brother. Automatically, women are going to be pissed. How dare you take money out of your joint account without letting your wife know? Like, you have no respect for your wife, right? But what did Angela Yee tell the guy? She said, listen, talk to her, find out what made her feel that she had to do that without discussing it with you first. Like, don't bash her or anything. Don't tell her like, hey, I work hard for my money because I work in manual labor and you make a stupid admin job. No, try to find out what happened to her without being mad. Let her explain to her, or explain to you, why she took that money out of the account and gave it to her brother without discussing it with you. Clearly, this is feminist advice. Why? It puts the man in a very subservient position. And had this be a woman, let's say, for example, on the other end, a man doing this to his wife, that would not be the case. Okay. But now let me play this other clip. I just want to give you guys examples because this is actually a female giving women advice as to how she should deal with men, right? Play that clip.
Ladies, males should submit to you. Without the portals that you possess, males would not exist. Remember who you are. You are gods. And if they do not do what you want them to do in that moment, send them back through the portal. And nothing else will come out of this portal.
What?
All right. So you heard what that one was about. That one was so crazy. I don't even want to really discuss it. It's very interesting. It's almost like a joke, like, did you hear what you just said? And again, this comes from women telling other women bad advice, in which you think about what's happening right now. Women are getting married less and less and less. So that attitude, when you have a lot of men who are not as sensitive to the women's needs as they were before, does it even make sense to have that attitude based on the numbers? So you have a woman who wants to get married to a man who doesn't want to get married in this time and place. And then you have women who have that particular attitude who, oh, by the way, they're not married. But again, I want to kind of go back to the first clip, right, that we played initially. And then I want to break this particular down because this is actually dating coach advice again for men, which is that men should stop letting women down because it makes women more masculine, right? So I want to play her response to that particular video she did at first, and let's hear her response.
I made a video saying that men should stop letting women down so that way women don't have to be so masculine. And men are trying to reverse the statement to make it apply to them. I've gotten comments like, oh, so when women let men down, do men become more feminine? And stop letting men down. A lot of these men who are giving pushback on letting women down are also recommending therapy. And then somehow from me saying that women become more masculine, they're thinking that I mean that we're behaving poorly. Another thing that these slow pokes took from my video is that when women become more masculine, that they become less feminine. It's obvious that the issue here is comprehension. You guys don't understand things. One guy even equated femininity to being gay. I can't make this shit up. And I'm not about to go back and forth with these idiots, so I'm just going to leave this video here for y'all.
All right. So again, here we have feminists giving men advice, which the advice doesn't make any sense. Again, let's look at it from a male's perspective. Men, or let's say we say this, dear women, stop flaking on men. You're going to make them more feminine. What is the response going to be? And I'm talking about dealing with equality, right? Because if you said that to women, they're going to say, well, why are you picking those women to deal with? It's your fault that you picked women that are flaking on you. And guess what? That's actually the right answer. Give her a round of applause, Demon. It's the right answer. It's the right answer that you want to hear. It is men's fault if you deal with women, and guess what? Those women don't want to, come up and show up to the date, and you start becoming bitchy about it. Well, guess what? It's not the woman's fault that you've made a bad decision. The new women that you're coming into in their life, they don't deserve that from you. They don't, because they had nothing to do with the fact that you had bad experiences. They were not at fault. You were at fault. She wasn't interested in you, or you said something that turned her off, and ultimately you win some, you lose some. That's the right attitude. But now, if you say to the same woman, stop, letting women down, you're making them more masculine. And if men says, well, if you are feminine, like you should be feminine because you're a woman. You shouldn't become masculine because some man let you down. Why did you choose to deal with that particular man that let you down? That's not my fault. You just can't pick men. When we get to those conversations, the answer is different. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Again, when Angela Yee said what she said to this guy, his wife took $17,000 out of the account to give to her brother. Okay. And that's if she really gave it to her brother. For me, instantly that calls for separation. Get out, or I'm getting out. You don't want to do the right thing. You don't respect me. Obviously you don't respect me. You went and did it behind my back. So you're out, or I'm gone. I'm going to take the rest of the money that's mine and I'm out, because obviously you don't respect me. It's clear as day, right? Because if you did, you'd ask me. However, here's the same thing. If it's a man that does his wife, it's a different answer. Okay. If you're a man and you become more feminine because women flake on you, it's your fault. But now if you flake on a woman, despite the fact that she's turned down a lot of good, decent guys, it's still men's fault, because it's always your fault. And that's what women dating coaches, or feminist dating coaches, should I say, because some of them don't do that. They're always putting the blame on men, as if it's always the fault of the man, while at the same time, if the same thing happens to the woman, they'll jump on you. And then if you have a bad experience, it's your fault. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity John. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.